session is getting recorded. So at the end of the session, the recording will be dropped at the Telegram group. All right. So let's start with Euro GDP. All right. We had it that once price was able to break above this structure here. We had it that we asked students to wait on the test of this structure here. We should sell. All right. So we had a sell from this point, the lower time frame. All right, back into this zone which we took profits. And since then, price have then started making another rally, but it is not yet confirmed. All right. And if you look at the daily, what we can see on the daily was that price actually tried to break above. All right. It could either be a fake out or a confirmed break. All right. So how we can identify that this is a confirmed break? All right. We're going to go down to the lower time frame, a much lower time frame. So this was a breakout of this trend line here. All right, please help us mute your mic unless you have questions to ask after the session. We had it that price actually broke above here, so we are going to put up the trend line here. All right, let's see the noise coming from these and these people. All right, so we had a trend line here, and what we want to be seeing first, we could clearly identify that this was the structure here, that price have broken above that structure here, came back for a retest. And once price can break above this structure and end up being above the structure, all right, you can have market break above. Market break above this structure. And what we want to be doing when the market breaks above this structure, okay, let's get this out of the way first. Once there's a break above this structure, and on the retest, we'll look to buy. All right, but first we need a commitment, or we need a reason to be involved. We need the market to commit to us before we can commit into the market. All right, so that's what we want to be seeing. So for now, everything looks okay and perfect for the reversal. We want to see this completion of a head and shoulder pattern, but understand that overall everything looks bearish. Price can as well come into this zone and bounce here and still continue the trend. All right. Now we'll go straight to another pay, the Euro Aussie. The Euro Aussie. All right. We spoke about this last week when price was started making a bounce from this level, and we had a lot of people buying, which I said no, that we can't buy at this point. That I want to see price breaking this structure here before we can continue to buy. So we had that price came up here. When price got back to this zone, price broke it and still continued the rally to the downside. So for this week, we are going to look at a reason to sell the euro against the Australian dollar around this point to continue the rally to the downside. We just have to continue doing what the market is doing. We don't need to actually be fighting the market in any way. Once there's a bounce of this area, all right, around the 1.7107, we look to sell, and our risk will be 338 pips. All right, automatically we know that we are below the pivot. All right, this is a tool that we give out to students, all right, here in the academy, and they just have to use it perfectly. So once we have price actually breaking below, we know you want to sell and it's a good place to be. From here, we can open a sell around the 1.70 or 7100, and our risk should be above, which is 300 pips. And this is an area which we want to be targeting. All right, we want to be targeting this zone here. Boom. We want to be targeting 1.66. All right, so from that point, our TP will be 450 pips, around that range, and to be a good position to be. All right. For the Aussie USD, let's go to the daily time frame first, what we can identify. Initially, we had this uptrend and this correction to this point, and we had this another push to the upside. But what I can identify is that we understand with the students that the law of alternation based on Elliott wave, if wave 2, which is this wave here, is to be a shallow one, wave 4 should be steep. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that if these are wave 2, And we start drawing our fractals, or we start drawing our lines from 0 to 1 to 2 and to 3, which is this point here, and to 4. We expect something deeper, but also understand that if you have a deeper adjustment up to this point, that here is only half cooked. The bigger trend will be to the upside, but that notwithstanding, from the weekly time frame, what we can see that this was a level of structure, so we expect that our market should make its way up to this zone. From that point, we can start selling, all right, to downside. All right, so that's the case with Aussie USD. So how do we involve in a trade for Aussie USD? For trading action, all right, on the Aussie USD, we have seen it clearly that price is at a resistance level, all right, so we can't really do anything for now unless we want to be selling. We can open a sell from this point unless we want to be selling or have a reason to be selling this way. But for now, we just need to wait for it to play out. There's a break above this structure, we need to buy. There's a break below back on the retest, we sell. All right. For the pound CHF, all right, we had it that market actually broke above, came back for a retest, and this area seems to hold. So for the greater part of this week, we'll be looking to sell the pound Swiss francs. All right, so this is how the whole market structure looks from the daily. Okay. From the daily, that's how the whole market structure looks. And we look to sell from this point, all right, to target this area here, which is bigger structure. All right, so from the H4, we had it that price broke below this structure here, came back for a retest. All right, so from this point, we can open a sell from this zone, which is a very good area. From this zone, we can open a sell, while our stop loss will be above. All right, so and we'll target this zone here. All right, so from speaking, if you open a sell around the 12045, our stop loss should be up here, 93 pips, 90. Let's see the 100 pips to avoid being just stopped or 100 pips, and our target will be 350 pips. All right, so it's a good position to be. All right. Then for the USD card, for those that were in the last session, I spoke about the USD card extensively. All right. What we want to be seeing, USD card making a push into this area. For price to have broken below here, and price is now below the pivot. Since this point, price was below the pivot, and we had this wonderful trend line here being broken as well. All right, so market should be selling. So everything looks bearish for now. We need to look for a reversal pattern of some sort, and once that can happen, we will look to buy, but most especially of this zone or of this zone. So these are two zones we'll be looking at. I'd like to explain or say that 80 out of 100% of the time, market will tend to move back to liquidity zone. All right, market will move back to liquidity zone. And if you look at this structure here, we can see that liquidity zone, we have one liquidity zone here. All right, market broke below a liquidity zone here, coming down to this structure. So we can look for other liquidity here inside of this area here for a buy to the upside. Once price can do one of those two things, all right, so once price are coming to this zone, which is the liquidity zone, we are going to watch out for price action, some sort of reversal pattern around this zone and also this zone. So we look to take an action from that point on to the upside to complete our wave B, because from a daily, we know that this should start a correction phase after the wave 5, and from here to here is an impulse. So we expect a correction at the least to 61.8, okay, to 68.1, All right. So using our Fibonacci tool from this swing high to the swing low, here, this area here is where we want to see a correction into, which is previous level of structure, the neckline of the M formation. So there's some level of confluence, great confluence, and we want to see that price correcting to this zone, which is the 143,200. From that point, we'll look to sell from this point on to the downside. All right. So whatever is happening here, we need to look for a reaction around this zone. Everything looks bullish for now, bearish for now. There's a bearish structure here. Market broke below. Market can come bounce here, continue rally to downside. But I'm expecting this liquidity zone to hold. Because on the H4, this is liquidity zone. All right, see how price actually make its way around this area, this zone. So once price can come into this area, we'll open a buy. And our stop loss can be here. All right, and I'll take profit. So from this point on, we're going to risk 80 pips to target 310 pips. So it's a good position to be. USD all right. We had a little sale here over the weekend around Friday, and we want to see price come back to this liquidity zone. All right, once that can happen, this is liquidity zone. We want to see price come into this zone, and from here on, we'll add buy positions. All right, we want to see price come into this liquidity zone. From here, we'll add buy positions back to this target. All right, that's what we want to be seeing. For the pounds card, pounds did a little bit of a trick. Here with us. And pound is now trading in a downtrend, which I gave this signal on Friday for a trade here of this zone for a sell. Initially, we had a buy here, which triggered a stop loss here. And immediately it was clear to me that price is actually making a move to downside, because one of the things we see that price is doing, this is a left shoulder, and this should complete the right shoulder, but structurally it has come to this point. So on the weekly time frame, this looks okay, but from a monthly time frame, this looks abnormal. So we expect the price to come into this area on the monthly time frame, to testing this zone on the monthly time frame. So once that can happen, we'll look to buy. But for now, overall, we will look to only sell the pound card in the weeks to come. In the weeks to come, we look only to sell the pound card. So for the USD JPY, here is a zone that which we need to see price break above. All right, so it's a liquidity zone. All right. So, but first, from the weekly, we can identify that for people that were actually in that last week's session, we pointed out that this was a double bottom here. And from the D1, we saw that price bounced off from this point, and we had a buy inside of this area to target the upside. But here we can see that this area is strong, and price is yet to break above. All right. From the H4, see that this price is actually in a range, and there are two types of markets. We have either a trending market or we have a ranging market. So for now, we have it that price is inside a range, so we can look to have a pending buy order around this zone, the support, and we'll look to trade the range with it until there's a break above the range, and then we'll look to continue buying to the 109,500. All right, so that's the situation with the USD JPY. And we'll go straight into gold. All right, gold at this point, we had a buy from here up to this zone initially, did all this. And for this week that is going to come, we have it that gold has met with resistance. All right, taking out this previous resistance at this zone, trying to break below here, and this should be a retest. For this week, if there's any kind of price action, all right, inside of this area, because It was moving initially in this channel for this breakout, and understand that everything looks bullish. All right, so this confirmed where you want to be. I had to wait for the end of the session to confirm the situation with gold. So this was a structure that was broken. All right, this was what I wanted to see with gold. And also note that this was also a structure too that was broken. And this individual candle is very strong. So this is a retest. And if we use a Fibonacci tool from this swing high to this swing low, you'll see that this area here aligns well with the 68.1 Fibonacci. And from this point, we can look to open a sell on gold, while our stop loss will be above previous level of structure 1.740. And we'll target first level of structure here, 1.707. All right, for a take profit. Why inside of this area? Because if you take your Fibonacci extension from this swing low to the swing high, you see that this area conforms well with the 127.1 Fibonacci level. All right, and you can see that price is actually trading below, or price is actually broken below the pivot point. We can expect price to still do a rally from that point to the downside. All right. Euro USD, we have it that price is trading in a channel. All right. So price have indeed broken below. All right. So we'll look to open a sell on market opening, sell on Euro USD to target the downside. All right. Which is this pivot level of structure here. All right. So from this point on, our risk will be 72 pips and our take profit will be 164 pips, which is a good position to be. All right. So for the Euro USD, you can have a sell from this zone into targeting this area here. All right. For the trend to still continue. All right. Then back to dollar index. All right. Okay, we're not able to access the dollar index. All right. So using Mexican peso. Remember initially, we had a buy here from TradingView. Let me just quickly go down to TradingView, and then we have that preview. All right, so let's just go straight into TradingView, and then see. All right, then see on TradingView. On TradingView, we had it that, okay. Hold on. On TradingView, okay, this is from FX. All right, we had it that we want to sell the pound from this point, which is analysis was given, into this area. All right, so this for pounds analysis. Once price can make a push up to this zone, we look to sell, and our risk will be up here, target this zone. All right, so let's see how that went out. All right, so market is now making a push to this zone, which we want to see. From this zone, we look to have a sell from this point into this area. All right, another pay we gave out from TradingView. All right, we're talking about the using Mexican peso. The using Mexican peso have already hit our take profit. So let's see. Let's see if that hit our take profit. Boom. Can you see that? This analysis was given on the 20th of April. It was a very cool one. And it was super sweet. So we had it that we took profit there in the using Mexican peso. So we'll just go back to our chart. I want to give you a preview of when the analysis was sent out. So we want to see price actually trading in this zone. All right, but from the daily, we could as well saw that initially we had this line drawn. All right, so we have it that is broken. So we'll look for some sort of reaction inside of this zone. All right, or a bounce off the trend line. to continue the rally, all right, in the week to come. So some sort of bounce of the zone we look to continue, because we've seen that this is the structure here. Let's go see a structure here that we can identify. All right. Once price can actually make a move into the structure, we have to observe what kind of price action we're going to have on the structure here. That's for the USD Mexican peso. For the BTC, I gave it out on the Telegram group. All right, so let's quickly go to the Telegram group. On the Telegram group here, all right, Telegram group here, they want to see a buy of this point. All right, so this was what was given on the Telegram group. And what we are seeing now, all right, is this happening. All right, so there was a bounce of this area, and we look to buy from this point. But initially, 3 weeks ago, I gave out BTC on TradingView. It was well celebrated. All right, so let's go to TradingView. Go back to TradingView. All right, okay. So here, on the 18th of April, we gave out this signal to our students. All right. And here, we had BTC here, and we gave out a buy. All right. So from this point on, BTC boom to the upside. All right. So that was where we wanted to be. And the next pair we'll be talking about will be the Aussie NZD. From the weekly, we have it that we want to see a reversal around this point. All right. And if we should zoom out, we will see that this is a trend line that price has honored in the past. All right, the trend line here. And we have it that since then, price has started making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. All right. So if price is going to make another push to the upside, first we need to see, after this big impulse, we need to see a correction. All right. So from this point, which is the neckline of the M formation, we want to see a retracement into this area here, which if you should use your Fibonacci tool from the swing low to the swing high, this area conforms better with its 8.2 Fibonacci level, which is a good position to be. So we look to make good advantage of that. All right, so that's all the pay we have. Let's see if anyone has any pay that wishes to be analyzed. Can drop in the section or can actually call it out. All right, please can we have a post of this recording on the community group afterwards? Join this. All right. Okay, I'll try and make it available. To be available. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Any other question before we wrap it up?
Boss.
All right, I'm with you.
I'm good. Please, is there no analysis on crude oil?
Crude oil.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can make the analysis on crude oil. All right. Okay. Let's see crude oil analysis. All right. So for crude oil, Crude oil is still not out of the waters. All right, so this is good for the daily. We have it at 18.26. And looking at this structurally from the monthly to weekly. So let's just take this out first before someone else can. Okay, for crude oil, let's go to the monthly first. All right. We have this big push to the downside. All right. I don't want to actually start making decisions right now. I want to start actually drawing conclusions. But in my own opinion, I don't think there'll be much for crude oil for now because it is still under the waters. Look at this big candle, the downside. But first, what I want to be seeing first is the retracement. After a big impulse is a retracement. All right, so this is a zone which I expect price to actually retrace into. From this point, if price can actually break above this structure, I will then say that another impulse is about to start. All right, but first we need to see that this everything looks bearish from the monthly, and from the weekly we saw that once price got into this point, it then tried to do another push, but this was a high that we wanted to see price overtake and then climb above. It couldn't, only gave out a spike, price then went back down. So this was more of what I was seeing here was more of a Z pattern. More of a Z pattern or a zigzag. All right, was more of a zigzag. Can you see that? Zigzag. All right. So what we want to be seeing first, we want to be seeing price taking over this structure here. See the structure? From the daily, price is about making a move to that structure. All right, and we cannot be doing anything at the moment unless we see price break up that structure. On the retest of that structure, we can hope to buy crude oil. All right, believing that it is out of the waters. All right. Initially, this was the structure. Let's see how market fared around that point. This was the support. Once market came into this zone, it couldn't break above. Like I used to say, you want to see the market coming to you before you can come into the market. Market came into this zone. It couldn't break above. So this support here initially turned into resistance and market then rallied down. So we can as well see the same scenario here. Market can make a push up to this zone, and then if it's not able to take out this zone, might actually do another push to the downside. All right, so that's for crude oil. Okay. Someone raising up his hands. Okay, switch. Okay, let me hear your question. You're raising up your hands. Let's hear your question. You're raising up your hands. So let's hear what you have. Any other question?
Well,
Okay, do you trade indices like step index? I want the analysis of
yes.
I want the step index analysis. Uh, you're actually giving analysis on indices and basically indices stock for now because of certain reasons. And we have a group which will actually give out stock analysis, which is quite different from FX, quite different. So
yeah, sure. Please give me that.
Actually giving us stock analysis on the group. So, but for stock, if you need stock analysis and review of that market, I happen to be part of a group which we have great people as well. I don't want to mention them, but we have great people that actually control the market. It's a very high price group. The registration for that group is $1,000 for 6 months. $1,000. So you just have to. It's more of like a pump and dump. All right. You have to signals are being given, traders will always be available with a good sum to actually buy at a particular time and sell at a particular time on instruction. All right. So if you want that, I can actually link you up to that, but it's quite expensive and you need to have a good amount of equity. That's you need to have about $20,000 to be able to enjoy the business over there, because registration alone is just $1,000 for 6 months. So at point in time, probably for this month of April, only 3 analyses have been sent out. Only 3 trades have been called this month, which 2 have been super phenomenal, moving about 2 of them is about 6,000 pips, and the other one we hit our stop loss about 2,400 pips. So that's how it goes for that one. So I am not actually giving out stock, but for indices, for DXY, and if it will make meaning to you, this is DXY. DXY, we had a buy that was early this month on the 2nd precisely. This was a trade that was sent out in the Telegram group, so that is actually trading stock as call, all right? So it is yet to hit our TP1, which is 101.41. It's still moving in uptrend, but more a consolidation kind of uptrend. All right, so it's here to hit our TP1. Our risk is here. Our trade was inside of this zone. All right, so this was basically at the beginning of this month. All right, at the beginning of this month, we had this trade. So we are still moving with the trade. We are still going with it. It's over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 days since we opened this trade and it's still moving. I want to take profit around the 101.41, and TP2 is around this zone. Right, so this is analysis. I think if you go through my videos on YouTube, you'll be able to see that. So these are take profit 1 for years for dollar index, and that TP2 is up here while our risk is here. So this was a fake out, and we enter the market here. All right, any other question?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, please. I wanted to find out if you could post the Telegram group link on the chat, please.
Which one is that?
The Telegram group where you posted the indices forecast.
Oh,
I think you made reference to it.
okay, okay. Okay. Are you from the PipMinds group?
Sorry?
From the PipMinds group? No.
Yes.
All right, so I will just have to post the analysis at the end of the day on request. Okay. All right, I'll just post it.
All right.
Any other page I want to be analyzed or someone wants to analyze?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you send us a link of your own group so that we can join and then get to see your analysis on a weekly basis?
Let me know where you're doing it from. Is it from PipMinds?
No. I'm viewing from Light FOREX.
From Light FOREX.
Yes, community. Light FOREX community.
Okay, Light FOREX community. Okay, let me do a quick post of that. You can search on Telegram, the win effect.
Okay.
All right, so you get that.
Okay.
Win effect signal. I think that's it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what happened. Let me see. Let me see. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, that's it. Giving effect signal. All right. And giving effect, my name. You can search me up anytime. Okay, someone is saying hello.
I want to know the position for OD/USD. Is it a buy or a sell?
Aussie USD. All right, so let's just go do a quick recap on that. All right. Aussie USD. All right. Basically, what I like to do, I don't like to trade certain positions on the market with reasons. Let me go down to the H4. For the H4, we can see that price was here trending, made series of lower lows, lower highs. It didn't quite make another low, all right? It didn't quite make another low up at this point. So here was more of a double bottom, all right? Here was more of a double bottom.
Okay.
And then price then made a push from this point and then going up. So we can then see that it broke out of this trend line. And this structure here has looked as if it's broken already. All right. So at the moment, for trading purpose, you can't really do anything for now. Let me do anything for now because one, it's in an indecision point. Personally, I would say that because even when drawing a line or a trend line from here, touching these 2 points, you can see that the market actually broke out. This was a high, all right, one, and this white line was a high, and from the daily, you could see that this was a level of structure here. So this was support, support, support. Market broke out, came back. So what if this was actually a retest? And market should look to the selling from this point to the downside. All right. So what if this was a retest and this was an impulse, correction, impulse, overall correction? Just what if? And market could come up here and start selling back. So one of the things I would advise for Aussie USD, for price, allow price to come into this zone. Let's see. Allow price to come into this zone. It's coming into the zone. All right, coming into the zone. And you watch out for price action inside of the zone. All right, here. Once there is a reaction or a confirmation or a candlestick pattern, all right, that there will be a reversal from this point, you definitely see a structure. Let's go, let's see. That's around the 0.6441. 0.6441. That's the line here. 0.6441. So let me just make it a line. Boom. Right. 0.6441. So you can look for a reaction inside of this area. Or you can see that this is a trend line. Market touched 1, 2. All right. So first you need to see market coming to this zone. Once there's a breakout of the trend line, all right, so we'll look to sell around this point. All right. So if market actually still continues moving to the upside, we can then reevaluate the situation and then be involved for a buy. Okay. For another Aussie play, this was almost a similar scenario. All right, so this was a similar scenario. Let's draw this perfectly. Right, so we had it that this was a similar scenario. Can you say a similar scenario? Price came in here, structure, bound, all right? Came into here, broke out. Look at this individual candle. Let's zoom in. Look at this individual candle, the strength, the authority, this individual candle, broke out of this zone, came back for a retest, and boom, making a move to the upside, all right? So that's what you want to be seeing from a market or from a structure to confirm what you want to be doing. So market then made this push, correction, tried to make another push to the downside, but couldn't. Understand? Then made another push, breaking out of the trend line, breaking out of the current resistance, came back for a retest, and boom, it's now continuing to the upside. So for the Aussie CHF, Aussie JPY, initially we had a sale from this point, which market then moved to hit our stop loss. And now market is in a key position, which is the liquidity position. I say that 80 out of 100% of the time, market will always make reversal around a liquidity zone. All right, so for now, we don't have a trade decision inside of this area, unless we have price break above. All right, from this point, break above. back on the test, on the retest of the trend line, we can then look to open a buy to target the upside. Then our risk will be small, 27 pips, and our target will be massive, 72 pips. All right, so it's more of a 1:3 risk to reward. All right, so that's for that. So any other question coming in? Let's see those. Okay. Any other question? Any other question?
Thinking also that for the ODUSD. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, I think we've lost him there. All right, I think we've lost him. Okay, any other question before we wrap this up? Before we wrap this up, any other question? Let's go straight into the Facebook. All right. Okay. You don't have any questions from the Facebook. Everyone seems to be all right. They've been following well from time. All right. Let's see. Do you have any questions from Facebook? All right. So no questions. All right. Okay. No questions. Okay. So any question from the Zoom? Meliki, any question? I believe you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. Mr. David Eshet, are you all right? So you can.
No question, no question.
Okay. All right. Let's get this done. Okay. So for the week to come, the most eminent play I'm looking at first to for a trade decision. All right. One, I'm looking at the USD CHF. If there is a bounce of this trend line, all right, also this zone, you know, once there is a breakout, you should expect a retest of the breakout. All right. So this was a breakout of this zone, this structure here. Support, resistance, breakout, retest, breakout, back for a retest. Let's go down to the H4 for that to make more meaning. Here.
Share your screen.
Wow. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. For the D1, we have it that doing the push to the upside. Here was support. Market tried to do a push from this point, broke below. All right. Came in here. All right. Now, this was a resistance, market trade resistance here, made another push to this area to here, and then broke out of the area, closed above for the very first time, came back for a correction, and then boom, breaks above. So if market is coming into this zone, one, this trend line, this structure here, and there's a bit of confirmation of reaction of this trend line, we're actually watching out for reaction, be it a pin bar, a hammer, all right, on a reversal pattern of some sort. But I like to see an inverse hammer on a support, you know, an inverse hammer on a support and a hammer on a resistance. Then I will apply the fill-in strategy, all right? So you can learn any of this strategy through the Pitman's Academy. a filling strategy. Now, let's look at an example of a filling strategy, how it looks like, and what I mean by filling strategy. All right. Let me go down to a thing, which we have a filling strategy. All right. Okay. Here, this is a hammer at a resistance. The hammer at the resistance here, also an inverse hammer at the support. You expect the next candle to come in and fill this week. All right, so you have to monitor this reversal pattern. It's one I teach the students most especially because it's one that I always watch out in the market. Everyone should have reasons to be involved in the market. I put it to you that if you have a strategy, if you have a technique or some trading plan, it will give you a context for a trading action. So basically, I use the Elliott wave, and the core value of an Elliott wave is that it provides a context for a trading action. All right, so you need to identify what candle pattern you want to see in your own plan. You need to identify what candle pattern works better for you. Like this here is a bullish Marabozu. There are strategies that actually work with the bullish Marabozu. All right, this is a bullish Marabozu candle. All right, it's quite different from every other candle. From the opening, market bulls came into the market right from the very opening. Let's look at another example of the Marabozu candle. All right, so let's look at another example of Marabozu candle. This is a bearish Marabozu candle. From the very opening, bears took control of the market. All right, the very opening, bears took control of the market. All right, so you can see that at that point, people that are trading this technique alone, you'll start drawing conclusions. The next time market comes into this zone, they can as well open a sell because of the Marabozu. So they believe that they have much of sellers inside of this area, right? You can see now, boom, market went to downside. For the bullish Marabozu, you can see that here, buyers took control. And after I break above, if I can make a break above this structure, this will be a level of structure which we'll have to take note of very much in the break of this structure to the upside. But technically, let me point out something to you, everyone, technically. The whole market is in a downtrend. Fine, clear, identified, it's in a downtrend. And I am not looking at market reversing around this zone. No, not looking at that. Area reversal, I'm looking at area reversal to be around this area. Here. So I'm still expecting technically from the weekly for market to make a push into this zone. Use your line chart. You can see that this was level of bounce, resistance, support, resistance. And I expect the market to still make a push further into this zone before the bulls can think of coming to the market. And overall, the bulls coming to the market. Why will the bulls come into the market? Because from the monthly time frame, this was an expanding diagonal. All right. After an expanding diagonal, you expect a push. And this made the very, very first push, and price is inside a range. So you have two trends. Either you have two market structures, either a trending market or. So I expect that. Hold on. I expect that the market overall should make a push to breaking out of this structure to the upside. But here is the level which I expect the market to actually start doing that. All right, to complete this, maybe right shoulder. But all right, so that will be a situation for that day. But I expect this to happen. A push inside of this zone after this impulse, the correction. All right, so this is an expanding diagonal. So I expect that to happen. For the USD Chinese yuan, this was also an expanding diagonal, which we gave out with the students that once after this happened, this is the same scenario with USD card. We expect a correction up to this point. From here, we can start selling. all right, to this point. Once this market was inside of this zone, this was where we expected our Z leg. Okay, so we had a sell from this point to TP, another buy at the break of this zone to the upside. So we are still in the trade. So an expanding diagonal should take this pay back to the resistance here. All right, so that's what I expect of the market, because after an expanding diagonal, you expect a bullish trend to continue. So let's see another example of an expanding diagonal. We've seen it with the Euro GBP. We've seen it with the USD CHN. So let's see it with the Euro USD. All right, let's see another expanding diagonal. Okay, let's see another expanding diagonal here. Euro GBP, Euro USD. So let's see. So we had one here. And we had one here. Euro USD. All right. Okay, we did have one here, the Euro USD. We didn't have an expanding diagonal here. But what we have here with the Euro USD, that overall the price is in this symmetrical triangle. So a breakout will be very crucial, and which we are looking at breaking to downside. It will be very crucial, very massive. All right, we have this trend line, beautiful trend line here. So we expect that the breakout to this area will be massive. All right, so that's what we expect. All right, market has been trending here. Lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I expect a breakout of this structure. That's what we expect overall from the USD, Euro, USD. And another expanding diagonal in play will be the pound CHF. All right, so this is an expanding diagonal you want to see completed. All right, so once that can happen, we have this to be the first bounce, second bounce, 1, 2, 3 bounce. So I expect the market to correct at least to this point before a breakout. So once that happens, I can expect market coming to this zone, and I'll look to buy, testing this resistance here, which will now be structured here. And if market can actually do a breakout of this structure on the retest, we will continue to ride the trend. So this is an expanding diagonal that is about forming. I'm giving out this, all right, at the moment. So you can expect to watch out for market as it unfolds, rather, to completing this expanding diagonal, all right. So are there any other questions? But for let's quickly do a recap on this pay. A lot of questions with this pay. You can identify that this was a push to downside correction. For this week, I'll not really be expecting much from this pay, because there is no much to be expected of this pay from this point where it is. If market can actually do a push below this structure here, we'll have to see wait on the retest, which might be coming to this zone. I like to see it coming to that zone. You know, I don't want to be caught sleeping on the bicycle. I don't want to be caught sleeping on the bicycle. It's very annoying. So from inside of that zone, we'll look to open a sell. But first, we'll not be doing anything with the students until that can happen, and we'll look to sell. Same goes with Euro JPY. We spoke about this pay when this pay was here. They want to have a sell, and we sold this pay into this zone. The whole of this, we're not concerned. We will not be concerned with the buy for this pay. If this pay can actually make its way up from this point, testing this trend line. All right. So we're just going to head straight to ending this session, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow by 8 o'clock during the Frankfurt session. Till then, you see the voice of Jubilee Effect. Remain blessed.